As you know, for the last couple weeks, I've been doing the IllustrationFriday.com challenge, and this week the word was toy. And I've been wanting to make a toy for quite some time based on my new Creaturez concept, so I thought I would do this for the project. I started off with a sketch of the character that I wanted to use, and then I had two other pictures that I found, a picture of some bags and a picture of some markers. And from there, it was just a matter of starting off with a scan of the sketch. See here, I put it into Photoshop and scanned it, and did some manipulation of the image, turned it into a RGB scale image, cropped it, rotated it, of course, and got it ready to go. From there, I knew I was going to need 3 different images. I wanted to make it a little wider. The proportions weren't quite right, so I wanted to change it around a little bit. And so basically, I know that I'm going to need 3 different images for the finished project. So I'm going to start off by saving this piece. And then I'm going to start cutting around and making some adjustments, and hopefully you'll see as we go what's happened here. So I needed to save it first as the creature itself, and then I needed to save another object, another piece for the actual toy itself. So you'll be seeing that here shortly. I'm starting to work on the toy piece now by selecting the inner area there. That's going to be the shape of the toy itself. Delete everything but the part that's going to be the actual toy. The actual idea behind the toy is it's going to be a sort of stuffed animal kind of thing, but just a very simple, almost like a beanbag shape that you paint and create yourself. This idea of new creatures goes back to a verse from the Bible, 2 Corinthians 5:17, which in the King James says, "Therefore, if any man be in Christ, he is a new creature." It's also the basis of my church name, New Creation Fellowship, but that's from the NIV. The original King James Version says new creature, and I love this idea of creating creatures, so I sort of married the two. From there, I'm going into my second image now. This is the image that I'm going to use both for the packaging and for the final image of the finished product. Starting off by isolating the creature himself now, and we're going to go in there and we're going to paint him, starting off by selecting the part of the image that I want to paint first. From there, it's just a simple matter of making some layers, taking the airbrush tool and airbrushing some shadowing into it, and hopefully you'll see them come together here pretty quickly. I love doing this type of work, and I just thought I'd like to share it today. Again, that new creatures passage, it's this 2 Corinthians 5:17. It's this idea of Christ changing your life, and he's done that for me. So I definitely want to share it. And I love this concept, working on it to help people to understand that Christ is supposed to transform your life. And so that's what's important to me about this whole thing. I don't know if I'll ever get around to actually making the toy, but when I saw that the concept was toy for this week, I had to give it a shot. So basically what I'm doing here is I'm creating a little prototype so people will get the idea what it is. And if there's anybody out there watching this that would like to help me get this on the market, that would really be wonderful too. But again, it's mainly just to show you how the process comes together. So now I'm going to take the original shape, and I'm going to make my character to fit onto that shape, and we're going to do a couple different blending options to make it appear that he's actually painted on that piece. This will be the image of the finished toy. There are a couple little mistakes in here as I'm trying to work through which functions do which, but now we're going to minimize those and go back and start working on the actual packaging. This is where I bring my bag image. This is just an image that I pulled off of Google, and I have to adjust the size here to make it so that it'll look like it appears to fit in the package. We shrink it behind there so it looks like it would actually fit in that bag. Then we're going to add some of the markers. We're going to put the markers in there and make them look proportionally sized, and blow it up and add a little drop shadow to make it appear like it actually looks there. And we're going to make the bag transparent so that you can see through it and see the toy inside. Now we're going to go to the packaging, the label itself, and you start to see that come together here in a second or two. Again, to make a few adjustments here. We're going to put the finished product on the page and turn it, angle it, make sure it's proportionally sized, and put a drop shadow on it again, so it looks, and all this is stuff you can do in Photoshop, and it actually works fairly easily. And you can see it comes up with a pretty great result. I think this whole piece, outside the sketch, which took a little longer, but I'd say the whole piece probably took a little over a half an hour to complete. And I think you'll see that it comes out, I'm pretty happy with the result. Again, I don't know exactly what the finished packaging will look like. I'm not sure I'll ever be able to get this to the market, but I did just want to sort of show it to you and give you an idea of where I'm headed with it. And when I got the opportunity to do the challenge, I thought, man, this will be a great opportunity to bring something to life that was only sort of existing in my head before. You notice now I'm making the logo to put on the package, and a very simple logo, just lithos typeface and adjusted a little bit in spacing and things, shaped a little bit. Now I just want to add a little tagline underneath it, and it took a little doing to get that on there, as you can see, but we're just about there now. Photoshop is such a great program to use. It really can get something that looks a lot like what you want your finished product to look like. Again, you notice the bag is in perspective, but the label isn't, so we're going to adjust the perspective on the label a little bit, give it a little bevel emboss to give it some shape so it looks like a real thing, and then drop some drop shadows in behind the label and the bag. And from there, it's really just a matter of centering things up a little bit and laying in a background. I'm really pretty happy with the way this thing came out, and I hope you like it too. Again, this is just sort of an example of something you can do yourself with Photoshop, and there are some free programs out there that can do the same thing. Just make a few adjustments to the background here, and it's done. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed this, and see you soon. Take care. God bless.